Welcome to day 2 of Microsoft Build. How is everyone?
Let's get the energy up.
That was pretty good for first thing in the morning on day 2. I'm not gonna do the thing where I'm like, oh, so I'll do better. Anyway, I'm Burke. This is my colleague, Pierce. We were just talking about like, what is your title? What do you do here? What is it that you say that you do here?
So I work on the VS Code team, but I also work on all things GitHub Copilot, GitHub Copilot app, CLI, et cetera, et cetera. So things.
Things. And my name is Burke. I also work on Copilot CLI, Visual Studio Code.
Yep.
I do my best to make some YouTube videos from time to time. And otherwise, just sort of hang out with Pierce.
Yeah,
a couple of announcements for you today. So this right here is streaming Windows stuff after 2:15. So if you want to hear Windows stuff, this is where you definitely want to be. Hi to everyone watching here at Build. I guess that's y'all. Or there's nobody. Yeah, that's just these people here. Okay. And then also the people watching online on our social handles, VS Code social handles, on YouTube, on X. I guess we're streaming on X as well.
Yep.
GitHub, YouTube, Microsoft Developer. Terminal Live, the live coding from the expo floor. Have y'all seen the live coding booth? It's like a glass, it's like a fish tank with people inside. Can anyone go in there, or do you have to be?
I think you have to be sanctioned.
Do you have
I'm going to be locked in there for 2 hours today.
Are you really?
Yeah.
What are you going to build?
No idea.
Huh, interesting.
We'll find out together.
Anthony was in it last year. Didn't you build like a programming language or something? Yeah, Anthony built a programming language in 10 minutes because that's what you can do now. I'm sure it works too. Everybody's using it. Let's see. We have from 10:15 to 11, VS Code team's AI adoption story. That's breakout 204.
Yep.
Is that yours?
That's my, yeah.
That's you and?
Me and Josh from the VS Code team. So the basic concept is like, okay, you use AI, now what? There's a lot of things that break.
I thought it was going to be about like our AI adoption story, like why we put AI in Visual.
No. It's like literally like our team uses AI now. Okay, now what?
Gotcha.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, and then we have the Copilot game show that's going to be happening on the keynote stage.
Yep.
That's going to be a ton of fun. 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is going to do you have to say the C when you say 𝗦𝗽𝗀𝗀𝗀?
I don't know.
Where's Kent?
Where's Kent?
Yeah. Anyway, he'll be there co-hosting. We're going to try to we're going to vibe code something in 45 minutes. See how far we can get. It's going to be a lot of fun. Join us for that. And then we have monthly release live streams, y'all, on the VS Code channel. If you want to keep, because look, how many people have no ability to keep up with what's going on right now? Am I the only one? I work on the product and I don't know what's in it because they're shipping every 15 minutes. Those monthly release live streams are a really good way to keep up with everything that's going on. You still won't know, but at least you'll know more than you do now, right? It's not possible to keep up with everything. And then they want me to mention the blog. I'm not doing that. Okay, opener. We just said all that. All right, Pierce, let's talk about the highlights from day 1.
Let's do it.
So first, let's talk about the GitHub Copilot app.
Yep.
It's this new thing. It's an app. It's not an editor. It's not a CLI.
Yep.
What is it exactly?
It's an agent-native desktop experience for building things. So like, that is a very marketing answer, right? But I think we've all kind of used these session managers, right? Where you spin up some agents, you're running multiple things at once, they're isolated in Git work trees. And so like the app can do that too, but really like when you think about your job, right? There's a lot of work that is around all that, right? Like deciding what issues to pick up, triaging your backlog. Once you actually do stuff with agents, okay, sure you submit a PR, you have to get it across the finish line. The app helps with all that stuff as well.
So I've noticed this. I don't know. I'd just like to poll the audience, but how many of y'all are actually running multiple agents at one time? Okay, so several folks. Like more than 2? More than 3? Anybody out here running like 50 agents and your screen is just a bunch of terminal sessions, or is that only on social media? Like no one is doing that. So I did have this question about like how many agents is feasible, in your opinion, inside of these apps to run? Like should we be running 50 agents at one time? What is expected of me now? What am I supposed to be able to do as a developer? I don't even know anymore.
I think there's a lot of performative productivity of like, to your point, people running 50 things at once, but it's just like always, like when I sit down and write my performance review, it's like, what impact did I deliver, right? And if I can get there by running a couple things at once, great. I personally don't think I can go beyond 3 or 4 because I really start like losing track of what's actually going on. And I have to batch the tasks together. I can't like constantly just be jumping in and out of things all day. So for me, I think the max is 3 or 4, but with the app, like even if you're only running one thing at a time, the interesting thing is like the code is intentionally backgrounded, right? We have an awesome editor, VS Code. If you want to see the code, you go to that. But the whole point of the app is you can stay outcome focused. So there's like a browser, you can click one-click run, and so your first like kind of outcome that you do after the agent is finished is you're actually checking to make sure, did it do the thing, right? And then secondarily, how do I feel about this code? And so the app is more focused on that first problem than the second.
Do you really ask yourself how you feel about the code, or?
Depends.
You're
it
supposed
depends what
to
I'm
ask
working
yourself
on.
that question, but then you're just like, it works. I'm just not gonna look. Because here's what I've noticed, y'all. With these new tools, it's like out of sight, out of mind. You know what I mean? Like if you don't see the code, then you don't get nerd sniped into worrying about it, and it just goes, and you're like, does it work? I don't know. This has been my experience. So the other thing we had is, we got a lot of stuff on here, the SDK, which it's not obvious to me why I need a Copilot SDK. What is that for exactly?
So there is, in every single GitHub Copilot product, there is this thing called the agent loop. And that's the prompts, tools, context that actually is powering the experience you get in all these things. So traditionally, those had all been many different things. And then we built GitHub Copilot CLI. And so basically what the SDK is taking that thing that we do a ton of offline evaluation on, we work with the labs on to really make sure it's an awesome experience for everyone using GitHub Copilot. And we take the core of that, and it's an SDK. And so you can basically package that agent runtime from GitHub Copilot into any application.
Yeah, it's very cool. And if you're into these, like, is anybody out here using OpenClaw or Hermes agent, any one of these personally? Only one hand, wow. Okay, so yeah, that's been my experience as well. But one back there. So if you have a Copilot sub, you can use the SDK and you can basically one-shot your own assistant just to play around with it and see how it works. I encourage you to try that out there. All right, last question. You have 45 seconds. New coding model, MAI Code 1 Fast. What is it? And is it true that it's better than Mythos?
It is the first coding model we built from scratch here at Microsoft, so I'm very excited about that. In the blog, we compare it to Haiku, so it is kind of in that class of models that's built for like fast, efficient work. So like a lot of the training philosophy for this model was how do we get this to be really good in GitHub Copilot, so specifically trained on GitHub Copilot's tools, agent trajectories, so that should give it really, really good results when using it specifically in our harness inside of GitHub Copilot. And there's a whole bunch of other efficiency things that it's also trained on, like it's supposed to dynamically control like its response, depending on the prompt you give it. So if you say, hey, it's not gonna go on some diatribe, right? So it has like adaptive solution length training. So it has all that going on. So yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, it's the first model that we've shipped for coding here at Microsoft from scratch. We've had some fine tunes we've shipped before.
Is it really the first coding model?
I think so. Maybe there was one before, like in the early days, but within recent memory, we had like Raptor Mini, but that was a GPT-5 Mini fine tune.
That's right.
That wasn't something that was built from scratch entirely. So yeah, we're excited. Like, give it a try. Want to see your feedback. It's definitely like our first attempt in this space. So like it's rolling out in Model Picker right now for VS Code developers. You can also get it in auto. So if you don't see it, like keep checking back. We're rolling it out slowly, but we'd love your feedback.
Awesome. All right, well, thank you so much, Pierce. Round of applause for Pierce here. Please go see Pierce at his breakout session. It's over there on the floor. I don't know what the number is anymore. There it is. All right, see ya. Bye.
See ya.